Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if my lights turn on. Driver's side is this way. Did it work? Please tell me it worked. Let's go, we have lights! I can't believe I actually did it. I'm a mechanic!
Bob, there you are. Dude, we've been looking for you everywhere, dude.
Oh, dude, Bruce,
it's 2 in the morning.
Today is my birthday. Here's my top 3 favorite moments from this past year. The last one is by far my favorite. Coming in 3rd place, we have being the first person in the world to land this trick outside. In 2nd place, we have being on American Ninja Warrior and being the only person to ever front flip into the jumping spider on the TV show. And in 1st place, we have the birth of my first child. Just look at how small he was and how big he's already gotten. He makes me really happy. This is my friend Jackson. Today he wanted to land his first backflip on concrete, so after doing it on grass, he just went for it and got it so quickly. So I came up with another challenge to make him do it in the small space, and that way he could do it on this raised skinny wall, which he also got super quickly. So we went up to this even higher wall, and then we even found this super tall one, but this wall really scared him because of how high it was. So we went back and practiced one more time on the smaller wall, and then finally he went for it on the end goal really high wall and got it, which made both of us really happy. I wanted to jump from here to this wall and climb up it without getting wet, but before I committed to that first jump, I had this idea to take off my shirt and put it on the ground the same distance to make sure I was physically capable of it. Then I even tested the grip to make sure I wouldn't slip on the second wall, and I got that jump on my very first try. But when I tried the second jump, I didn't commit and just got soaking wet, which was so frustrating because now that I'm more wet, it was a little more scary to try again. But I tried it again anyway, and on this try I made it all the way to the wall, but both of my shoes fell into the water, and even though my shoes fell into water, I still made it across, so that made me really happy. I recently made a paid promotion video for this Dragon board, and me posting this right now is not a paid ad. I'm just posting it because it's that much fun. But this is their pro model, and it straps onto your feet like a snowboard. I think I'm gonna learn a bunch of new things on this today. That was sick. All right, first I'm gonna try to grind on this part. Oh, that was so close. Yes, let's go. Now I'm gonna try to grind on this part. There we go. Nope. I can't believe I landed that. I was falling the whole time. I'm gonna try grinding on this part. Oh, yo. I want to see if I can get the end of the board up on this thing and also get that side on. Let's go! No way! Oh, check this out. Ninja Warrior obstacle. My friend Parker got in the storage bin and he slid all the way down this entire dam in a recent video, but today I wanted to see if I could flip over him while he's sliding down it. So we started next to each other, that way there's no way we could collide into each other. Then we finally went for it, and on the first try we got it, but then Parker fell, but then saved it with a flip, which made both of us really happy. My mom says that I'm just as beautiful as my backflips. Backflip. We got an air mattress. Jeez. And we're gonna try to launch each other into flips. Oh, I hit the ground on that one. We're going higher. Oh, that was the one we needed. Oh, yo. A little more height and it's definitely possible. No way! You committed? I don't know what happened. Come on. Oh, that looked painful. Yo! That was so close. Okay, we can get this.
Let's go.
Oh no. No! I thought you had that one. Oh, not quite. Yes! Yes, dude. Yo, that's it. Yo! I almost ran into you. We did it!
Let's go.
On these skis, I'm trying to do a backflip and land it on snow, but this is my 3rd day ever skiing, so the first thing I practiced was just purposely falling to make sure I could do it safely, and then I practiced carving down the mountain so I could get my control better, as well as doing a bunch of different jumps down the mountain that I wanted to flip on, and that combined with already knowing how to flip on rollerblades and just having learned how to flip on indoor skis made me confident enough to send my first one, but I absolutely over-rotated my first one and fell over. Thankfully, I was okay, so I got to to try another, and once again still over-rotated and wiped out at the bottom. But on my next try, I slowed it down and landed it perfectly, and that made me really happy. This insane flip is done out of a helicopter in the movie The Fall Guy, and today I wanted to use this scissor lift to recreate a similar high fall flip with a twist. Do not attempt to recreate any of the stunts in this video. All stunts in this video are performed by a professional. I started off practicing pretty low to the ground, but then each time I went, I made it higher and higher until I was very high up and that target looked really small. I then started working towards that final flip that I wanted to recreate, and after a whole bunch of practice at the maximum height of the scissor lift, I committed to the flip with the full twist to my back, just like the stuntman Troy Brown did out of the helicopter, which completed my challenge. If you'd like to see more incredibly entertaining stunts like this, you can now buy The Fall Guy on digital, 4K, and Blu-ray, where you can not only watch the movie, but you'll have access to a ton of other great bonus content, including me learning more stunts from The Fall Guy, and an extended cut of the movie with 20 new minutes not seen in theaters. 1 year ago, I learned how to flip on a snowboard my first day ever snowboarding. Today, I wanted to learn my first grind on a snowboard. So I decided to start by trying to hop next to this thing, and I already fell on my butt doing that. And then eventually, after a bunch of tries, I got the hang of actually riding all the way across that thing and actually had pretty good control. So then I wanted to turn sideways to turn it into a grind, and I did that without moving first. And then when I did try that moving, I almost got it on my first try, but fell on my butt. So then I gave it one more try, and on this one, I made it all the way across and managed to stay on my feet, and that made me really happy. I wanted to swing off of this bar, flip and grab this bar, turn around and immediately swing to the top of this wall. Now, I have 12 years of parkour experience, so the flipping and grabbing the bar wasn't hard. It was the immediate swing back. To not take any extra swings and connect it with a lot of power was really hard. I almost got 1 foot on top of this wall and stayed on top, but couldn't quite stay on top. But on this one, I actually got 1 foot on top of the wall, and then for the next hour, I just did that over and over again and couldn't seem to get 2 feet on top. But on this one, I had a lot of power and timed everything perfect and finally got 2 feet on top, and completing this made me really happy. I am learning sign language. Do I have a reason? Not really, but I've always wanted to learn it. And I want to tell you my 3 favorite words that I've learned in sign language. You're blocking the shot. They can't see me signing if you're right here. Okay, what is happening? My 3rd favorite word I've learned so far is dolphin. I really like this one because it's just kind of fun to do. Today we're gonna learn about personal space. Give me a 1, personal space. 2, personal space. I'm gonna scoot over a little. You stay there. My 2nd favorite word is gymnastics, because it's like a little guy doing gymnastics. It's kind of cute. If you knock the camera over, I'm not going to be happy. But my first most favorite word I've learned so far is tornado. I don't know why it's so fun. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys updated. As I learn more words, I'll tell you my new favorite ones. And that's all for now, folks. I'm trying to learn how to backflip on everything, and today I'm trying a snowboard. I learned to flip forward on my first day ever snowboarding, and on my 5th day I learned to flip backwards, but if you look closely at it, it's not actually a backflip. So on my 6th and 7th day, I worked on a bunch of grinds and things that would help me with control so that eventually I'd be comfortable committing to a backflip. And on day 8, I committed but under-rotated pretty heavily on my first try. On my 2nd try, I actually ended up over-rotating, and then every try for the rest of the day, I ended up getting close to landing but couldn't help but touch my hands on the snow. So I came back on day 9 to see if I could land it on just the board without my hands touching, and after 8 hours on 2 separate days of trying this and failing a bunch of times, I did finally have this one where I landed on just the board, and finally landing this made me really happy. This is a summer sled, a sled that needs no snow, and to backflip on it is my goal. Now, I realized on my first try this thing naturally drifts to the right because I completely missed the foam pit, so I had to aim for the staircase to the left of the foam pit in order to make it into the foam pit. So then I committed to my first backflip into the foam pit, which went really well, but then when I tried it outside of the foam pit, it did not go very well. I actually broke a handle off of it, but thankfully I didn't need that piece to keep going, so I went ahead and kept trying it, and I got a lot closer on these next tries, but as I was doing it, I found out it was really hard to roll away from this and actually stay on the board all the way to the bottom. And even though I was failing a bunch, I didn't want to give up, and I'm glad I didn't, because on this one I almost fell, but did a 180 to save it and rode it backwards to the bottom. And adding this onto my list of backflips made me really happy. This is one of those rolling boards that you sit down on in order to use it, and today my goal was to land a backflip on this crazy item. I decided to wear rollerblades to help me control and steer this crazy thing, but when I dropped in from the top to try to get speed for the backflip, I almost completely missed the area I was trying to land on my first and my second try. Now, eventually, I did get enough control to where I could jump and land on my feet on the area I wanted to land on, so I went ahead and committed to the first backflip, which I didn't land on my first try, and something even crazier happened on my next try. As I was riding, it didn't go fast enough and I almost hit my head, but thankfully just barely managed to dodge hitting my head. And when I took a closer look at the board, I realized that one of the wheels had completely melted, so I went ahead and switched it out for a new board, and with that new set of wheels, I was able to go fast enough to not only commit to the backflip, but also to land it, and that made me really happy. I am learning how to backflip on literally everything, and I've learned a lot so far, but today I was taking a look at the classic street board by Dragon Boards, and I decided I wanted to learn a backflip on this as my goal today. I started out on this padded surface doing a crooked backflip where I used my hands, and slowly and safely progressed into doing a backflip where I tried not to use my hands, but all of this was taking off of carpet.